Hi everybody, welcome back to our podcast.
Welcome back.
I'm Brandon,
I'm Pizza Pie.
and our guest today is
JGambolputty.
JGambolputty. And just to start off, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan since you started your Shun and Junk YouTube channel.
Yeah. And the magnum opus, Creatures with Flying Bowser.
Yeah, I remember that back in the day. Yeah, that was a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm. So how'd you get the idea for that? Like, such a genius.
Ideas. They come in, and you just have to act on them. That's how it goes.
Yeah. Speaking of ideas, actually I heard you're starting a new video game.
We had to keep that under wraps. We got NDAs and stuff signed with companies. Like a company that made a particular game.
Yeah. Well, actually, I saw some reviews online. I saw some reviews on. Okay, I saw some reviews online. One journalist called it the best game they've ever played.
About
it could possibly the best game of all time. About the game you're making.
Oh,
And allegedly,
I've never heard that. So
according to IGN, it's the most wish list game on Steam right now.
No, that's wrong.
No?
That's some fake news.
So you're saying IGN's not a trustworthy site?
What do you got against game journalists?
I think they're lousy, pathetic excuses for life, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, some people might not agree, and that's okay, but they're wrong.
Well, one thing
I appreciate you traveling all the way just to be on this podcast.
But,
thank you. It's a long journey from my bedroom.
But what I love is look at the flu suit. You ever think about getting it redone? Well, if you ever thought of that, we have a sponsor today.
Oh, dang, a segue.
Us with title work and renovations. If you live around the Jonesboro Paragould area and need some work done at your home or you're building a home, consider Us with Tile Works for your flooring needs. They do it all: showers, hardwood, tile, black splashes, and more. A local company with deep ties to the community, and all for a reasonable price. And remember, Us with Tile Works is always committed to perfection.
Dang.
And actually, I heard you look really fit right now. What kind of workout routine do you have?
I'm juicing a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but
I don't know.
I like to I have a 100-pound bag, and I do runs and run a couple miles.
Yeah, I seen you bouldering on you dudes. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I climb on the wall.
Very strong fingers.
Well, I recently graduated. I'm now officially an exercise scientist, and I've been doing research, and I have a program that guarantee you see 10% gained in your 1 rep maxes. Would you be interested in that?
I want way more than that. I want
that's just in 1 week though.
Oh, 1 week, dang man! I do that in one sesh, bro. That's good. That's good for you. I'm proud of you.
Well,
keep it to yourself.
Well, you ever go to the gym, watch people lift, and when they're pushing up, they exhale, like. Yeah. Well, you're wasting all that air. Keep it inside. So if you hold your breath, it increases blood pressure to your head, all around your body.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
He's doing push-ups right now.
No, don't blow out. Hold your breath throughout the whole set. The whole set.
He did like 7
that was
push-ups.
Like 10.
No, I was like 3.
He did 3 good ones, but 7 bad ones.
I'll still count it. But see, don't you feel better? Move blood flow stuff?
Not really. No. I like breathing out. I don't like holding my breath.
Through my extensive research, I've seen an average. I've seen an average of 10% gains in 1 rep maxes in 1 week.
Just from not breathing.
Just from holding your breath.
Dang, I need to do that like all the time. Just holding my breath.
And if you follow my program, go to my website, pizzapie.com, and sign up for my
the domain.
sign up for my monthly classes, and you too can see games.
Are you on progress?
Well, that's the end of our ad reads. Now,
Oh, that's just the ads.
Yeah. Well, I heard you went to Japan. Tell me about how that went.
I mean, it was for research, extensive research for projects and stuff, and yeah, it's an interesting place.
What kind of projects?
For Comic Star Interactive, there's a
It's your game set
up and coming game company.
It's the game set in Japan.
No comment.
Oh, and we forgot to mention, what is the title of the game you're making?
No comment.
No comment. We'll put it
That's
later.
the title of the game.
Well, did you do anything interesting in Japan?
Yeah, we went to Japan. That's
Yeah,
pretty
it's cool. Do you know Japanese?
Skoshi.
And what does that mean? No, a little bit.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I respond to... No, I'm joking.
Well, overall, what did you think of Japan?
Probably like top 5 countries I've ever been to.
How much country you been to?
3. No, it's a great place. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty funny because before the podcast, I heard you say, and I quote,
Yes.
that you said, it sucks here. I want to go home. 2 nukes wasn't enough.
What?
Yes, on the Discord. I can pull it up right now. You said that.
No, before the podcast, you
Got any
said
comments?
When did I say that?
You said it right before the podcast.
Yeah.
You said,
So I want to go home where?
When you
was in
Japan, you
Japan.
said, it sucks here. I want to go home. 2 nukes wasn't enough.
I want to go home to Japan?
No,
Wow.
you was in Japan. You said, I want to go home, back to America. And you're saying in the World War II that 2 nukes was not enough.
You got any comments?
Can you elaborate on what you meant by that?
Yeah, basically, I just, I feel that there was actually 3 nukes. If you've seen Oppenheimer, you know there's more than 2.
If you seen my bathroom.
After that could show Zach in his teeth. Zach hit his teeth on a coffee cup.
But speaking of Oppenheimer,
No further comments.
speaking of Oppenheimer, the Army recently changed its dress uniforms.
Well, speaking of the Army, do you want to help out your community and learn valuable training at the same time? Join part-time with the Army National Guard. Go to drill 2 days a month and 2 weeks during the summer. Get imbued with great values while making lifelong friendships. Help out the community in times of need. Talk to a recruiter today at www.nationalguard.com.
Recently changed dress uniforms from the ASUs to the AGSUs. How do you feel about that?
Well, I thought the ASUs weren't cute enough, so I'm very happy with the direction they
That's
went.
based. I like.
That's based.
I feel the
Because the
same.
new uniform is like the old uniform they used to do in World War II,
It's
Vietnam. It's pretty classic. It's a lot of historic ties. And personally, I think it looks better. That's my opinion on it.
Yeah,
But-
they weren't tight enough, and now they're really tight.
Well, that's
I
why
like
you get
that.
tailored.
I like that.
You got tailors, but yeah, I think the U.S. government makes a lot of great decisions. So, and that's funny I'm saying that because actually I have a sponsor from the U.S. government.
Dang,
So,
dude.
I'm from the U.S. government. I'm from the government. I'm here to help. The United States government needs your support with the upcoming election and conflicts happening around the world. The government needs your support more than ever. You can help by paying your taxes on time. And remember, you're more than just a number to the U.S. government. Right, don't ask what you can do for your country. Don't ask what your country can do for you. Instead, ask what you can do for your country.
Nothing.
Oh, no, this is great.
I thought these were questions, sorry.
That's okay. So, also, another thing that happened was recently they changed the old PT test with the APFT, but now it's switched to the ACFT Do you have any opinion on that? Do you have which one you prefer?
So what's the push-up max?
What's the push-up max? I would have to look that up.
They change it
in hand.
How many
There's
pull-ups
two,
do you have to
two
do?
different kinds of push-ups.
So,
many pull-ups do you have to
APFT
do?
was just regular push-ups, but ACFT is now hand-release push-ups. We start with your body on the ground, lift your body up, go at the ground, move your arms to the side, put them back, then do another push-up, and that's one rep.
So 2 different kinds of push-ups.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's your opinion?
How much weight do you put on?
Don't put on any
There's
weight.
no weight on either of them.
I don't like it.
Right.
I think
don't like it?
if you're not putting weight on, then what's the point?
So you're saying you can max all the events, you need weights?
No, what he's
Yeah.
saying is
Okay.
he doesn't like either test. He thinks they should make a completely
how
new
many-
test.
How big of ledges do you hang on?
No ledges,
10 mils?
but used to we just hang on a pull-up bar. But they changed
Nah,
that.
that's
So he wants a completely new test where everybody puts on the weights.
Yeah, you'll have to put on
And
weights
do
for
push-ups.
everything, and you'll have to hang. You'll have to do pull-ups,
I like it.
and a lot of leg raises,
Not a leg raises. Okay.
Okay.
a lot of
That's
ab
pretty,
work, all that stuff.
that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
And a hold your breath challenge too. Like you gotta hold your breath for at least 5 minutes.
5 minutes?
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And
I think that's a Navy thing.
yeah, but we can all benefit from it,
Mhm.
So I think that'd be a step in the right direction.
I don't know about that. I've seen some of these guys, if they don't get enough oxygen to the brain, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, but I mean, you just gotta work on it. They'll start with like a 10-second breath hold, and then they'll work it up to 15 and 20 and 50
Yeah, I've seen this
minutes.
Yeah, I've seen this documentary where there's people would swim in the ocean straight down as long as they could. They swim
Yeah.
back up. So I imagine they'd be able to hold their breath for a lot of minutes at a time. So
Yeah, I mean,
it's
like,
possible.
That's
by
the end
training.
goal, I mean, eventually you want to go down to the bottom, like
Yeah, like think,
Challenger deep.
yeah,
swim
like
back up.
think of whales. They have to breathe and they spend all day underwater.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Just become a whale.
That's true.
Yeah, you can actually. There's a surgery I saw. You can get a hole cut out in your back.
I think I've seen that in South Park, yeah. Like you put a hole in your lungs, so you blow out water out. Blow out oxygen out of it.
Well,
You
actually,
breathe in from your back.
Yeah.
can we just get gills?
No, you can't do
No.
that. That's cheating.
No.
They patched that in an update
That's
Sucks.
for the better.
Well, we have another sponsor.
Dang, dude! I mean, it was
It's gonna be no podcast.
It is. I gotta
Get
make
on with
money
the questions.
somehow. Zach, don't you get stuck in traffic?
Yeah,
Yeah. Don't you wish sometimes you could just fly over the traffic?
sometimes, yeah. I've thought about it.
Well, sponsor today,
Dreamed about
Lockheed.
it.
Yeah. Lockheed
Sometimes
Martin
nightmare.
has a solution for you. With a state-of-the-art military-grade aircraft, you can get to your destination in a fraction of the time. The F-35 Lightning II is perfect for your daily needs. Buy one from Lockheed Martin for as low as $100 million. Bad credit, no credit, doesn't matter. Lockheed Martin is here to give exactly what you need, no questions asked.
No questions asked.
No questions
Dang.
if you have the money, they'll give you the aircraft.
Dang. Well, I know what I'm getting for Christmas. That's something, yeah.
So we discovered banjo type beat, and ask him now, what is your personal favorite of this series?
That's a tough question. I mean, you got classics like Part 1, Part 2, Part 5. Part 5 is kind of mediocre,
Mm-hmm.
but I would have to go with Part 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, Post 6 is pretty solid.
I think Part 6, Part 1 are my two top songs.
And yeah, I really like the part where it goes.
Yeah, none of you heard that. You gotta listen to it.
But how do you
Waste
feel?
your time.
How do you feel about his other music, like bottle beat or boat beat?
I think it's cool that they're doing something, but it's not for me, and that's fine. They can do whatever they want, and I can choose to listen to what I want, and that's fine. That's good. That's cool.
Yeah, for me personally, I think boat beat It started off mediocre, but to the second half of the song,
Mediocre.
the second half of the song actually went up so much in quality, and I ended up liking it. But the first half really just drops it down on the tier list for me.
In my opinion, there was not enough boat sounds.
Yeah, that's true.
The other songs had the sounds of what was in the title. Like bottles, there's bottles breaking, banjos
Yeah.
playing banjo, boat. There's no boat sounds.
The sound design was quite lacking,
Yeah.
but they.
It's kind of like, almost like lying to me. That's what I feel like.
Yeah, it was clickbaity,
Mhm.
but sometimes you gotta like play the algorithm, because that's all it is. It's all about the algorithm and getting the ad revenue and all that.
Yeah.
Speaking of music,
So sometimes you gotta.
are you making the music yourself for your game?
Now we have 2 world-class composers.
I see you with the electric clarinet playing in your house.
That's not a clarinet.
What is it?
It's an electronic wind instrument.
A
An
what?
iwi.
An Iwi.
How's that
It's
work?
a wind synthesizer.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you blow in it? But it's electric.
You blow into it, and it has sensors,
But
and it
if you get you spit on
synthesizes
it,
sounds.
will it shock you?
A little bit, but you get used to it, and you like it after a bit. It's like a nice tingle.
Cool. Well, do you want to play a little bit?
Uh, Not really.
Just play a little one of the good original OSTs from the game.
Yeah, maybe next time.
And
Okay.
I think it would actually spoil some of the game. I think people should
Yeah.
really buy the game, experience it
Okay.
Yeah,
themselves.
they
for
can
the
wish
first
list
time.
it on Steam when it comes out, or when the Steam page is up, and for now they can just dream about it.
Yeah, but trust me, it's gonna be the greatest game of all time.
No, that's our next game.
Okay.
What's your next game?
This is the greatest game of all time.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
No, that's what it is.
That's what it
So
will
wait,
be.
it's like
This is gonna be like.
the Jack Black song. It's just a tribute.
No. It is the greatest game. It will
Yeah.
be. It's no tribute. It's the game itself. It's the greatest.
Like tribute was written about this game.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we're
Like the greatest song in the world is in the greatest game of all time.
And is it
yeah.
played on the iwi?
No, it's
It wouldn't
No.
do it justice. Well, you got a whole orchestra.
play on the sax,
Yeah.
saxophone.
Saxophone.
But doesn't the iwi have a saxophone on it?
Yeah, but they don't sound.
Like,
To
do they
me-
have tiny instruments inside of it playing? That's
Yeah,
how
they actually. Yeah, there's like a bunch of little tiny dudes in it,
Okay.
and they have ocarinas and stuff.
Well, to me, it's kind of in the shape of a saxophone.
Yeah, it's heavily inspired. The fingerings are derived from the saxophone.
Mhm.
Makes sense.
Well, a funny thing that
With some
happened recently.
modifications.
Have you seen where people doing check frauds at the Chase Bank ATMs?
No. I mean, yeah. I might have some connections.
Well, apparently those people were taking out fraudulent checks from the ATMs, thinking it was free money, but then later they were surprised when they was in huge amounts of debt because they didn't realize they needed to give that money back because it wasn't theirs.
Yeah, it's quite a predicament. I mean, when you're as loaded as me, I mean, it's, I don't really run into those kind of issues,
Okay.
Do you have any words of advice for those people to help them get loaded as well, get out of debt?
Well, the first step is, you take your starting $1 million and you invest that into,
It's a small
Stop.
loan of $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you take that and you'll invest it, and it just compounds from there,
Mhm.
You'll make, your second $1 million,
What do you
much
invest
quicker.
in? Stocks? What?
I invest in
Real estate?
investments.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, like, certain, for lack of a better word, schemes, Ponzi schemes, pyramid schemes. They'll all get you some funds.
Allegedly. Allegedly scams. Off the books.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't give them, in
I
between
wouldn't,
you and
yeah.
me, I wouldn't give them any money.
Yeah.
But they're a good way to make money.
Yeah. Well, speaking of money, do you know that you'll be paying taxes for your whole life? Did you know an average American will spend over $500,000 on taxes alone? Just imagine what you can do with all that money. Everybody's trying to save dollars in this economy. Well, our sponsor, Liberation.
Oh my gosh! Another sponsor.
Liberation Tax Services is here to help. They provide help by keeping what's yours, especially your tax dollars. Don't pay a cent of taxes to the government. You're doing jumping jacks. And by following Liberation steps. If the IRS comes after you, Liberation's team of lawyers will literally fight them for you.
Literally?
Literally. Sign up today for complimentary bulletproof vest. Liberation Tax Services. Taxation is theft.
Yeah, the only guarantees in life are death and taxes, as they say.
Well, coming to this sponsor, now just death. Taxes is no longer required.
In the future, maybe not even death.
Yeah.
So maybe they'll, So
you've been bouldering a lot recently. When did you start?
Yeah, I picked it up, and I was actually at the what's it called? The Olympics.
Oh, really?
We were, yeah.
You're watching it?
I competed.
Oh, what event?
What?
The bouldering, the
What?
climbing. Yeah.
They have climbing at the Olympics?
Yeah, it's relatively new.
Okay.
It is the second time, even though it's actually literally the oldest Olympic sport.
What?
I thought wrestling was the oldest.
No, I mean, since the beginning of time, people have needed to climb on stuff. And,
Well, since the beginning of
that's-
time, people are going after animals. When it's gonna be the original?
No, first you gotta climb.
Climb before you can walk.
Yeah.
But wait, can you stop and explain what is bouldering for the people in the audience that don't know what that is?
Well, you see, the pioneers they used to ride these babies,
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they stopped doing that and just started climbing on them. Basically, you start at the bottom of it and you want to get up.
And you just mean a literal boulder. That's a giant rock.
Well, there are rocks,
Like, what do you mean?
rock formations, and you just touch them
Uh-huh.
and you just go up.
Yeah.
And that's how it works.
So they're not boulders, you just piles with rocks.
Could a cliff be counted as bouldering if you had to climb up like a cliff?
Bouldering is just it's typically like a shorter climb versus route climbs, sport climbing where you're harnessed in and you're making a lot of moves.
And do you do this inside or outside?
There's both, but
Both, okay.
typical climb, I mean, it started outside, right? That's how climbing, kind of started. The
Yeah.
climb started outside.
Makes sense.
But then they wanted to bring it inside, and they did that, and they can, you can, change up your problems and all that. And, they're drilled into the wall, and you can move them. There's holes, right?
Oh, and what shocked me though, can we go back to you being at the Olympics? Did you win a medal? I didn't really watch that.
No, I did not.
No.
In fact, the media has been removing all instances of my name from the Olympics.
Why would that
Okay.
be?
There was some controversial things, of course, and I won't get into that. But needless to say,
But how did you prepare for the Olympics? I see you have a 100-pound backpack over there.
yeah,
What do you
it's
do
actually
with that?
150.
Oh, yeah?
I lightened it a bit, because I
And
had to tone it down a bit before, going to the Olympics.
so what kind of workout do
But
you
yeah,
do?
you do pull-ups, push-ups, run a mile,
Oh, what's the bag?
all with the bag on.
Kind-
Yeah,
kinda like
sometimes
a-
I'll sleep with it. I'll take showers with it.
Kind of like rock a leaf.
You're like
Naruto.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
doing Dragon Ball or
Goku.
Doodle Shell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually my socks are weighted right now. I mean they're 5 pounds,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, it makes a difference.
What's your 2-mile time with no socks on?
About 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Yeah.
That's with the bag on.
Oh, that's solid.
That's it, the bag.
Yeah.
That's a decent time.
So
Yeah.
how much faster would you do it
I mean
without
when
the
you're
bag?
bouldering, you don't need to run.
That's
Yeah.
true.
How much would you do without the bag?
I don't even see a point in doing it.
Mhm.
So
You don't even notice at this point.
I mean, that's why I increased the weight, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Started out at just 75, 80.
Okay.
But then you got to bring it up. But yeah.
But I heard you
I would like to talk about a specific game, that
okay.
that I wanted to get your guys' opinion on.
Okay, I'd love to hear it.
It's a game that means a lot to me.
Mhm.
It's called Nier.
Neo.
Nier Replicant.
Like
Nier
the Dark Souls?
Gestalt.
No, he said
Dark Souls
Neo.
clone? Oh.
Nah. Yeah, it's Nier Automata. Can't forget,
Well, personally, I've never even played the game. Can you explain what it is? What kind of game it is?
Yeah, basically it's just like, a game. There's like a story and
Mm-hmm.
music and stuff.
Well, from what you're telling me, I think I have a very positive opinion on the game. I love stories. I love games. To my favorite things.
I love
together,
music.
Yeah, together in like a single disc. It's a physical copy, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's amazing.
Physical, digital,
and 10 out of 10.
pirated.
And Near's a 10 out of 10 for me.
I could give you the link after this if you want.
Oh.
Put in the description.
He's joking.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
saying, it's just a joke. He's not.
I
we're
mean,
not
I
gonna
could
pirate
send it to the lawyers so they can take it down,
Exactly.
Which is actually, isn't that one of your sponsors? The
Uh,
lawyers?
Let me check. Yes, actually, if you go to the Liberation Tax Services, you will have access to lawyers that will fight for you.
They'll also fight to keep your games from being
Well,
pirated.
well, mainly they focus on taxes, but you can possibly
I mean, it's
get
all-
connections
it's all the
to
same.
other places that would help.
Yeah, it's all lawyering,
Mhm.
laws and stuff. That's all.
Yeah. Ever watch Baki on Netflix?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay,
You
well,
watch Fallout?
there's one prisoner. He's in a missile silo. There's a prisoner there, and he climbs up a flat wall to escape. How much finger strength do you need? Is it even possible to climb up a flat wall with just your hands?
A completely flat wall is kind of hard.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done it before, and I mean, I could demonstrate it right now if you want.
Okay,
but-
okay, go demonstrate it for us. Right now,
Whoa.
it looks like Spider-Man.
That's insane.
This place is like 10 feet tall. He's not
Whoa,
lying.
he's
He
still
went up-
going.
He went up there like in
Dang.
half a second, all the way to the ceiling.
Oh, he's coming back down.
Up.
Man, you don't even look winded. Like, that's easy. Wasn't it?
That's him slamming him on the ground.
I mean, but yeah, that's typically how it's done. So, I mean, if you got the strength, you can do it easily. But yeah, a lot of times in those shows they do what's called special effects.
Oh, anime has special effects.
That's what they call it.
That's
yeah.
crazy.
Oh, it's an anime. Oh,
Yeah.
it's an
But-
animated show, cartoon,
Have you seen the Fallout show?
Fallout show. I don't believe it.
Oh, you on drugs?
Today?
This coffee is the only drug I need.
Sometimes. No.
What about the Fallout show?
Well, it's about this. The apocalypse happened because bombs got dropped on the military.
I'm sure we're all familiar with the Fallout universe.
Big bombs called nukes. And they just wipe out.
He's familiar with nukes.
Okay. Nuclear bombs. Okay.
Two of them.
So anyway, they get dropped. They get dropped on America and just wipes a lot of stuff out. Well, these people, they survive. They have these things called vaults, and they're underground, and people live in them. And like after like a couple hundred years, people come back out. Then they have to survive in a wasteland. It's a TV show.
It sounds very similar to a video game I played once called Fallout.
Well, this is a TV show, so I don't know if it's the same.
Well, they might need to like get some.
Well, it'd probably be a
some
pretty cool
lawyers
game.
after them. They might like want to.
Could be.
Might be some infringement there.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
But it sounds interesting, yeah. I mean, for people that like shows, that's something that they should
And there is
have on
music.
their radar.
There is music on the show, and I know you like music.
There's music, dang.
Yeah.
Well, that changes everything. I might have to cut this a little
But-
short and go
Well, the music in that show is like all like old music, but it's still pretty good. But mostly it's old songs because in that universe, when the nukes fell, it halted all civilization, like all advancement. So everything was paused. Even the music was on pause. Those people were listening to the same songs for hundreds of years.
But most people don't live for hundreds of years since quality of life shot way down too. Probably living like 50, 60. Probably dying a lot younger too.
Yeah. 60 would be kind of old.
Well, yeah, it is old, but that's probably like the max.
Yeah.
They're probably living to like 60.
I bet not many of them.
But because there's just like nuclear waste everywhere, getting cancer and all that.
Yeah,
bad stuff.
that happened to me once.
Yeah.
You got cancer once?
Nah, the nuclear
Oh,
disaster.
okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say, you look pretty good for young kid. You got a full head of hair. You look like a hippie with all the long hair.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but the theme of the game really is this. The show is like war never changes.
Yeah, I've heard that before, but I've heard a conflicting line. That war has changed.
That's from Metal Gear Solid 4, I believe.
You might be right. I'm not gonna argue with you.
Okay.
But yeah. So I mean, they're two sides of every story, you know.
Well, what's your opinion on the wars? You think they've changed? You think they'll never change?
I think they're not my favorite thing, but you know they're really.
Yeah.
You know, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, back in the day too, people would treat wars like a spectacle. Like during the Civil War, the rich people would drive to go take their carriages to valleys and watch the battle happening. For them, it's like full of entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe it.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And wars have been happening all throughout history. It's never really been a point where there's been no war. But except these days, there's less wars than there used to be. But hey, do you think there'll be time where there's world peace, like no conflicts happening? You think that's possible?
I think I just want peace and love.
For all you people listening, that was not a new person. That was still Zach. He just put on a different voice. Yeah, so sorry for the confusion. Well,
I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, there was this gentleman who came up and he was talking about stuff.
Well, actually, it's a Russian-Ukraine conflict that's been going on for a while. For most people, it's been completely out of their minds for many months now. But remember, the conflict is still going strong, and the Ukraine military needs volunteers. The Ukraine military is pushed into Russia, so Ukraine needs your support now more than ever. Even if you have no military training, they still need you. They have a special unit for those who have experience called Cannon Fodder. They're both doing stretches right now. Called the Cannon Fodder Brigade, where you play an invaluable role on the front lines in the war effort. Make sure to bring your own weapons. Make sure to bring your own gear. Weapons are optional. Oh, so can you explain to me why you guys are stretching at the moment?
We're holding up that. It's part of my new exercise program.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in, stretching. And I think you stretch out your body, you stretch your mind, you stretch your soul.
And holding your breath, it also increases the amount of antioxidants that go into your lungs, and you breathe them out, so it's actually making you healthier, just in general.
I mean, holding your breath, you're just like,
and it actually
it's like
helps
a
you
stretch.
and to add 1 to 2 years on your life.
Yeah, like the
my
longer you can
program,
hold
yes.
your breath, yeah.
Well, I
Just follow
think,
my program.
Yeah, but I think what you were saying earlier, exercise the stretching is very important for your body. It's really good on your mental state. I think everybody should do some form of exercise when for them to live long, be healthy, and have it as a better, positive look on life. And yes, just like those stretches, I don't even know what I'd have to call it. He's kind of lifting his leg up in front of his body. I don't know if that has a name. Could you explain what stretch that was?
I just call it, stretch.
That was called the half Nelson.
The half Nelson.
I'm the residential exercise scientist.
Well, do you have any questions for us?
Well, how did you guys get started? I mean, I've never.
Well, this is actually our 3rd episode.
It's
you
his
wouldn't-
4th episode.
4th episode?
Yeah.
Man, time flies.
Long.
Yeah. That
Well, I know a particular gentleman in the podcast space,
Mhm.
and he's been at it for a long time. And I didn't know if you had any, guys are a fan of his, or if you were inspired, or you had him on. His name is Dulter Jr.
Dulter?
He's a
Wow. I heard there was some recent controversy. The band got broken up. In the
Man,
latest,
The band, the podcast?
Well, I mean, like he could, he's such a talented,
because in the latest podcast, they didn't even mention him.
He took his talents to a different podcast, you're saying?
You said he was too good for the podcast?
I'm saying,
Questcast?
I mean, I'm not,
With a
I'm
casket
sure there's
quest?
all kinds of stuff around that. I'm not, I'm just a fan. I'm just a lover. I'm not I'm not on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm on the outside looking in.
Yeah.
And but I do know that Dulter Jr. is a charismatic, enigmatic individual who he just wherever he goes, people follow him.
Yeah.
He's got that aura about him.
Yeah.
And, I didn't know if he inspired you guys or.
Well, I actually have met him before. He's a very, very intelligent, incredibly smart guy. Like,
Fantastic person.
fantastic person. And I'm sad to see he left. He was like the thing he's like the glue that held that podcast together. I'm not sure how it'd carry on without him.
Yeah, he's the only put the podcast I listen to. I'd fast forward it if anyone else is talking.
Yeah, he's a legend, and we all deeply miss him and wish him the best. And I didn't know if you guys were planning on collaborating with him, stuff like that.
Well,
I would be up to have a collaboration with him. What's he gonna
I
say?
said, we'd offer it. We have no problem. We'll put him on, get a spot, pay him money to fly to us. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I'd be willing. Like I said, yeah, pay money, give him down all the way here, and we'll have him on this podcast. And
Dang, well, he's out there listening right now. I mean, you could call him up, make it happen.
yeah. I heard he's very good at beatboxing as well. He can make good music. You ever heard any of his music?
I know of his talents, of his his many tales of he's a renowned artist and character designer. He worked on many projects for Square Enix back in the day,
Mhm.
and he is. I don't want to say too much, but I've heard rumors, and he's on some pretty big projects, and yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say anything, but if Dragon Quest 12 has some artwork inspired by Dulter, I mean, need I say more?
Well, personally, this topic is making me very sad, so I'd like to change topics. So, like we've been saying, like, you're a real fan of music. What video game do you think has the best soundtrack? Like, what's your go-to one?
Well, there are many games out there, and a lot of them with good music.
That's true.
There's you can't mention it all, but
Yeah.
there are some good ones out there,
Mhm.
and one particular one that I'm a fan of, and
Oh.
I enjoy, and I recommend.
Yeah, that's so
you guys-
interesting. What is
What
it?
game?
You guys listen to,
It has
a lot of
music.
times, whenever you're listening to a game, you'll just,
Don't tell me to get sound effects too.
The music, like, it just fades in the background, and it's like, kind of like just there. It's just noise. But some games, they kind of rise above that, and you actually
Mhm.
understand,
Yeah, I see.
there are other
me,
things, that the music elevates itself to where it's another thing.
to
on
me,
top
I
of the
think,
game,
yeah,
on top of the
good soundtrack can make
experience.
or break a
And-
game.
Yeah, there are many of those,
Yeah.
and there are also examples, where it just fades in the background, like I mentioned. But there are some in between. But yeah, some of those really great ones that you'll go above that. You know, those are special, and I enjoy those.
Yeah, thank you. It's a great. But personally, I think probably some of the most unique is Crash
I agree.
Twin Sanity. Its whole soundtrack is all acapella. Like, it might not be like the music you sleep to, the music you just listen to on your own, but I think it's very unique, and it really sets itself apart from any other game I've ever played, just the soundtrack alone. Another soundtrack I personally like is Metal Gear Rising. With all the boss fights, each has lyrics in the boss fight that tell the story of that boss, about his motivations, and I think it's really a lot of detail and a lot of hard work just went to designing just the music alone, not to mention the boss fights, the character design.
Yeah, and that segues right into the developers of that game, Platinum Games. They made a game that we already mentioned, Nier Automata.
Mm-hmm.
And so they definitely know their action. They make good action games, and yeah.
Yeah, I love Nier. I love its gameplay and its story that it has. So, yeah, so I'd recommend all the games. How is there multiple Nier games, or is it just one?
Now there are. Nier itself is actually a spin-off of a game called Drakengard.
Drakengard.
Called Dragoon in Japan. But here it's called Drakengard. But Nier itself has the original Nier, sometimes called Replicant or Gestalt. And then there's Nier Automata, the sequel that Platinum developed.
Okay.
And then there's a mobile game that I do not remember the name of.
Oh yeah, mobile games. I don't really care for them too much.
But yeah, and then there is a remake of Nier Replicant.
Okay.
But yeah, so there's two main games.
Yeah, but all those games in the whole series is 10 out of 10 for me. I just love them all to death.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to your question.
Yeah.
You know, what was your question again?
I'm just saying if there's multiple Niers or not.
Yeah, back to your question, yes.
And what do you do for a living now? You just full-time game making, or do you have a
development?
part-time job?
Yeah, you know, I do things on the side.
Who did you mention the massage parlor? Is that anything?
No, that's
just
just
a side.
that's just that's something that exists.
Okay.
But yeah, there's no affiliation or anything of that sort. But yeah.
So what are you doing these days, if not the massage parlor?
Well, I mean, we do stuff like this. You know, I appeared on a few podcasts already, and I mean, I give motivational talks. I give a few. I develop games and stuff of that sort. I professional climber.
Well, do you have?
That's the gist of it.
Yeah. Do you have a release, like a estimated date for the release of your latest game?
It came out 2024. That's when it came out.
No, you thought you hadn't came out yet.
Oh.
I'm saying, you have an estimated like month in 2024 it's going to come out?
What year is this?
What year is this? 2024?
Oh, sorry, I forget I said any of that. It will come out probably Q4 24.
Okay.
Or Q5.
Okay.
Okay.
Q5.
So when you release games, do you like send out discs, like ship it personally?
No, it will be on Steam.
Yeah. Well, can people play it on the Nintendo?
No, it will be on Steam.
What is a Steam? That like
Steam Powered
Xbox?
is a steampowered.com, not affiliated, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Okay. So it's like a
But there's
PlayStation.
a company named Valve. They made this thing where you go online and you just type in your game you want.
Okay.
And if it's on there, you can give them money,
Wow.
and it'll be there. It'll be on your computer. You don't need a disc. You don't need. It blew my mind.
That's so convenient.
And yeah, like you can play it, and it's there. I don't know how they do it, but I don't know. But yeah, they got it, and they reached out to us, and they said if we could be a part of this platform.
Because my nephew, he has a Nintendo Switch. He just wants to know if he could play a new game.
Well, we would like to expand in the future, but for now, the time being, we decided to see.
Well, this is news to me. Is you can go play a video game from a application. Is that what Steam would be considered, an application or a website?
Yes, it is.
Is that
it is
kinda-
both.
It is both.
Is it on Google?
And
You can find it on the Google, but
no disc, no cartridge, just to download it off a website.
Wow.
That's amazing. And how, is this like a subscription thing? You got to pay the website a certain amount of money
No,
a month?
it's free. It's completely free. You just have to pay for the products that you are paying
Oh,
for,
that makes so much
and
sense.
the products will be there.
So it's like Amazon, but for games.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Amazon, but you get it instantly. It's quite a revolutionary thing. Once they apply this to other things like food,
Like a Kindle. Like you can have a
and
book.
drinks,
Yeah.
and coffee, stuff like that. I mean, it would be a game changer.
Oh.
There would be all kinds of second revolution
Yeah.
of sorts.
Yeah, I have a Netflix application on my phone, and I click a movie, and I can watch the entire movie. You don't gotta go to movie theater. So it's something like that. You can just click on the game and just play it.
There's no projection involved. You're not.
Mhm.
You don't have to. There's no film reels or any of that.
No, we're not cavemen.
Wow.
I've not heard of this, but yeah, that will be a game changer for the world of cinema.
Cinema, yeah. Yeah, before that, like Blockbuster used to be a big thing. You'd go in, just get your VHS tape, and then you go take it home, then return it after you finish watching. But I haven't seen them much around anymore these days.
Yeah, I've not heard of that. Back when, when we did it, we had to go to the cinema, the theater, and the actors, they would be on the stage, and that's how you would
Wow.
watch the movie.
Wow.
A motion picture, but the actors are on stage.
Oh, there aren't any pictures. They're there. They're
Oh.
there, and they will act out the story, and
Can you interact with them?
interaction is a part of it, but typically you don't. Typically the audience is on the fourth wall. They're on the other side of the fourth wall. So to
Okay.
speak.
And the fourth wall is the wall behind the audience.
Whenever the audience turns around, yes, that can be stated, but typically the fourth wall is the wall between the audience and the actors, the players.
And this is like an invisible, imaginary wall that the people on the stage refer to.
Yeah, sometimes it can be a real wall.
And then definitely make it hard to watch.
But most of the time, yeah. Most of the shows I watched from the outside, so the fourth wall was a literal.
So you're the outside looking in.
Well, I'm just like on the outside, and sometimes you can hear bits of story, exposition, and you can just fill in the gaps. Because I mean,
Oh, well.
we didn't have much money growing
Yeah.
up, so we had to just stare at the wall. Sometimes it wasn't even the theater wall; we'd just stare at our own wall. Yeah.
Well, this is a song called Jukebox Hero. I think it's by David Bowie. And he's, in the beginning of the song, he's on outside. He's listening to music on the inside. That about you?
Well, I mean, me and David, I mean, I don't want to sound arrogant or anything, but I think there's definitely some clearer
Because
inspirations.
eventually he becomes a musician on the inside, and becomes a jukebox hero. That's the song title says.
I'm familiar with the track. But yeah, I'm not, I think that's good for him, and I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. So you'd say you're good friends with David?
Well, yeah, before he died.
Oh, rest in peace, David.
Before he died, we, I love his albums, and I like to think that he knew that, and he knew that I loved them, and I still love him. So
yeah.
Do you have a favorite album?
He's got a lot of good albums. Everyone loves Ziggy Stardust, and I don't, but a lot of people do, and that's good for them.
Yeah, I heard a rumor he went to meme school. You know if that's true or not?
He wanted to become he's a man of many talents. He's a renaissance man of sorts, and he wanted to get into a humorous school, for clowns. But there are many vacancies there.
That's unfortunate.
So is that where you met him?
I never went to clown school. I didn't get in. There's
Mime school?
never any vacancies. But I applied to meme school, and I couldn't. Didn't really want to get in, and but I believe he is a classified. He was classified. He was certified as a what many would describe as a mime.
Yeah. Well, I think the hardest part of mime school would probably be trying to get out of the room, because everybody's blocked by invisible walls. It seems like every mime I ever see, they look like they're stuck in an invisible box. So I imagine finding the exit to that place would be pretty difficult. Is that how you graduate?
I think the easy part is getting out. I think the hard part is getting stuck, because you can, if you're not a mime, the wall is not there, and it's not part of the equation. But once you are a mime, that wall is always there, and it's separating those two lives. And I think that's the hardest part, and that's really where a lot of people, we lose a lot of great individuals. They can't separate that side of them.
Yeah,
I think that's part of the issue.
Yeah, so brave.
That we should bring more awareness to in this day and age.
Very brave.
Because there are some kinds of, we've lost many. Excuse me. They're something that we should bring more awareness to.
It's okay. You don't gotta cry. Yeah.
So.
It's okay. It's hard. I know it's hard
It's
to
so
talk
brave you
about.
speaking out about your experiences.
Well, it's not mine, but David, of course, he was able to break out, and he's a hero, right?
Yeah, that really separates the mimes from us civilians. I thank them every day. Every time I see one, I go on my way to talk to them, see how they're doing mentally, see how they're doing getting out of the box yet. Give them all the support I can.
But sad, most of the moms don't even talk back though.
Yeah, that's part of the wall.
Mm-hmm.
We all build around ourselves, and some people just can't.
Yeah.
But David was a hero, and he, his spirit lives on, and we all miss him every day, and we should all strive to, do something.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you. That's a beautiful story.
So what you saying? There's a little bit of jukebox hero in all of us.
To bring it full circle, yes.
We're on the outside listening.
It was an inside looking out, or just an outside looking
Inside and
in?
outside. Blue is life. Blue was his life. I'm blue. Dabba dee dabba die. I think that's how the song goes. There's all kinds of
So
metaphors
true.
and, you know.
That's personally very deep. What does that mean to you on Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Dum?
I mean, there's the color blue, you know, has many symbolic meanings. It's the color of the ocean. It's the color of the sky. It's the color of blue things.
Of course. Can't forget the blue thing.
And it, you know, it has symbolic meanings and religious undertones and spiritual ideas, and it ties into, you know, various things. You know, sapphires are blue, and you know, various, you know, fruits.
Personally, what I think
flowers,
it means,
and there's, you know, so from there you can
Yeah.
draw many conclusions, and you know, it's it really ties into the inner subconscious.
Yeah.
And
This-
from there.
It's
Yeah.
blue
It's
baby.
that's what I was gonna say too. I was saying.
It's,
I've seen it.
You ever watched the show?
I've seen the blue bat.
Y'all been
I've seen that blue basketball.
I think the song is respective of the blueberry guy, and like he is blue physically, inside mentally, and emotionally he's also blue. That's my personal belief on it. I think it's a very deep, profound song. Thing we can all take lessons from.
To me,
I
I
agree on
think he's looking too much in
there's
this.
too many, you know.
Yeah, he's just saying it's just a
sometimes
silly
there's-
song.
yeah.
The guy who's singing is not actually blue. I
Mhm.
don't know if you know this or not.
He
looks like a normal human. So I think he's just lying.
Yeah, you think the song is perspective of a liar? And
No, I
he's-
think he's just wanting to make a silly song,
Mhm.
Okay.
and he thinks blue's just a silly color.
Mhm.
And da ba dee da ba die is not. It's not. That's the same anything.
Well, if I was to pick
That's
a,
not no language I heard of.
if I would pick a funny color, it would not be
Could be
blue.
the-
I would pick like a pink, or a purple, a yellow, not a blue. Blues, and it could be the sky, yes, but blue is also typically sad. If someone's suffocating, they turn blue. That's no fun color.
It's also the color of the veins.
Yeah, but it's also blue balloons, blue fireworks. Those aren't sad.
Well, fireworks could be any color, balloons
Blue
could be any color,
stars,
so that
blue
don't take that
flame,
shit account in this argument.
Blueberries, blue flowers.
Mhm.
When I see blue fireworks, I don't get sad. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Blue's a pretty silly color.
Well, yeah, I see your point, but fireworks could be any color. Like no color fireworks makes me sad.
How's it gonna be no color fireworks?
And I'm saying no matter
Gonna be
what
dull,
color.
gonna be invisible.
I'm saying no matter what color I choose, it won't make me sad because it is a firework. But if you saw blue baby, would you be happy or sad? That baby's no oxygen. That'd be a pretty sad color to see. And I guess we gotta conclude it there. And one last thing, you got any movies coming out, movies you recently watched that you'd like to recommend to the audience?
You know, one that brings me to a very important point you mentioned, and that is the you know, there are many movies coming out
Okay.
in this day and age, and
Yeah.
I think we really need to, you know, watch them. I
Mm.
think that's a good
Yeah.
it's a good note to end it on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
No
think
point
there's-
having movies if you don't watch them.
Yeah, and there's a lot out there, a lot not good, and there's some stuff that is good, and I think that's awesome. And there are many that I could name. I think people should watch them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for your insight. And thank you for listening. And can you tell us one last time what's the name of your company and the game you're working on?
The company is called Bethesda Game Studio. And
Mhm.
our game is called The Elder Scrolls 6.
Okay.
And yeah, I hope you enjoy it when it comes out in the.
Yeah. Thank you for coming once again all this way. I know it's a long journey. Hope you get safe going home. And if you got anything clues on Austin?
Yes. One movie I'm excited for the Minecraft movie. It looks funny.
Yeah. What was your favorite part about the trailer?
Jack Black, like Steve. That was the funny thing I ever heard.
What I thought was funny was the pink sheep. That's
Oh,
pretty
yeah,
cool. That's a funny color, pink.
I was astonished by the quality of the animation and it really blew my mind. I mean, I think animation's come a long way, and I think that's an exemplary, a great example of that. Yeah.
Well, I might be looking too deep into it, but when I saw Jack Black, aka Steve, I saw his shirt was blue, and he seemed to have an appearance of being being strong. But I think deep down the blue represents his inside, how he's really sad and he's being all alone, and these new people come, so possibly he can make some friends at the end of the movie. His shirt would be a different color. That's what my prediction for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Well, remember, guys, check out
Well said.
Bethesda Studios. Go look out when a new Elder Scrolls 6 game, and be all. I'm signing off. No, any last words, anybody?
Yeah. Thanks for having me on, and I think it's. I think audience will enjoy what we've given them, and I think there's been many profound statements made on here, and I'm looking
Definitely.
forward to reading the fan mail and getting all that stuff. And I think there's many.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening. Stay tuned for the next
And
episode.
before we leave, make sure you go to pizzapie.com, sign up for a monthly membership at $500 a month.